Hey guys, welcome back to Cell Talk. This is your host Christian, and today I have our nurse Kelsey and then our social media manager Juliana. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Feeling good.
Feeling good?
Great, energized.
There we go.
She's usually taking a nap now.
Yeah, usually nap time.
I got asked to be on here.
Oh my. Kelsey is the one that administers the stem cells, so if you want to run us through that and kind of break it down for us.
Yeah, so administering the stem cells is super easy. It's quick. We just hook up an IV catheter and we hook up a port to it. And then we basically just drop the stem cell, we push it, and then we do a flush, and then you're done. Mm-hmm. It's a quick procedure.
Yep, in and out within 15 minutes, 30 minutes with paperwork if you don't have it done.
People are like, that's it? And I'm like, do you want something more?
You want some more?
Would you like to be stabbed again? Because it's so easy.
I feel like people think stem cell treatments are like some crazy experience.
They want something more. They're like, that's all? I'm like, yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, the more's coming within about 30 days.
Right, right.
No, I mean, a lot of people think they need to be put under for it. I mean, a lot of places.
Really?
Outside the country, or if you get your own stem cells, like if they take it from your own bone marrow or take it like from the adipose tissue, you're being put under anesthesia.
Oh, that's right. You have to.
I think a lot of people think it's like voodoo medicine. They don't understand like the process of it.
Very laid back. Yeah. It's very high tech. It's not tech, but it's like high tech.
Taboo.
But it's not voodoo medicine. Mm-hmm. It's new age medicine.
Regenerative. Yeah.
Boom. Regenerative.
Bone marrow. So the bone marrow, what were you talking about? You said there's two different ways. Bone marrow.
Yeah, you could take it from the bone marrow, which is a very invasive. You go through like the tibia with probably 16 gauge needle, probably 16 gauge needle.
Gauge size.
Yeah, it's a big needle.
Wow.
They're going a big needle and just scraping out the bone marrow.
It's a big needle.
What's the difference with the bone marrow stem cells versus the ones that we use, like the MSCs?
Well, bone marrow's coming from you.
Yeah.
Think about like if you're a drinker, every drink you've had, if any fall you've had.
It's aged as well with
when
you.
We had the doctor come here from out of the country, he did the bone marrow, and he was and he did it. It was wild. I thought it was going to be like same thing, like this big procedure. They went into the room, he did it, they came out, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was
but it can be painful though.
It can be. I didn't hear anyone scream though. So
no, maybe he was numbing him up. Maybe it's easier than it sounds.
But it might not hurt as bad as you think, because I used to work with the fire department, and we used to do like IO if we couldn't get like an IV. Mm-hmm. You used to have to drill into the person's bone, and it doesn't hurt. So I think there's something about it that, like,
passing right through the nerves.
I would just say maybe like
because we see people like awake.
Yeah, the effects though of the bone marrow versus the MSCs, like the MSCs are more potent, right?
Yeah, they're more potent because those are coming hour one of life. Like I said, and you're getting something from you every drink, every fall, every bit of negative, whatever happened in your life is being put into those stem cells. We use them every day.
All the crap we eat.
Yeah, all the crap we eat. Every workout we've been through and everything. So
every Celsius we drink.
Yeah, every Celsius we drink.
Every pre-workout scoop.
Yeah. Dry scoop only. Dry scoop only.
I don't miss those days of the dry scooping the pre.
Makes it easy. Just quick, either right before the gym or right before you leave.
I was like cracked out in my car.
I just woke up tired.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I don't know how you guys do that.
I have coffee in the morning, but
that's
more
what
pre
I've been doing now. 4 shots of espresso on my way in. More worried about if I'm gonna make it through the workout.
I don't miss the caffeine crash. I used to crash so hard after I would take pre-workout.
Yeah,
I would get anxiety from it too.
Really?
Yeah, I would just be like kind of freaking out.
I would go to the bathroom well though. Everyone knows that pre-workout bathroom.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll just leave that there. We'll leave that there.
That's a real thing.
No, yeah. There's a few pre-workouts I've taken, and I was like...
I think it's just because it's a high amount of caffeine so fast. I think that's why.
Yeah. Your heart rate's going.
I have
fight
a
or
story
flight.
of the first time I took C4 in 9th grade, but we'll talk about that at a different time.
That was the first pre-workout I ever tried.
C4.
I found it in my dad's pantry. I was like, we're doing this. I'm going on a run. I was like,
he goes,
14.
Were you taking my C4? Instead of drinking out of the liquor cabinet, you were taking C4.
No, I was probably drinking out of the liquor cabinet too.
She mixed it with her vodka. She's like, this is delicious.
Oh, there you go. Vodka Rebel, vodka C4. Might not be bad.
Honestly, I think you're onto something.
Might be a new promo. Instead of high noons, it'll be...
That's so funny.
Like C4 noons.
I'm sure if you went to a bar and advertised vodka C4, people would get it just out of
principle.
principle.
Absolutely.
In Tallahassee in college, it was like Y-bombs, like Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
vodka
so
That's
Rebels.
still a very common thing.
Yeah, but
vodka
it's
Red
like
Bulls are
it's
in.
still the same concept of like energy and alcohol.
Oh yeah.
C4
But that being said, if you're getting stem cell treatment, don't drink alcohol for a little bit.
Yeah. Really? Wait, actually no.
Yeah, no, because I mean, alcohol causes inflammation.
Okay.
So
Yeah, makes sense.
if you're directing the inflammation you're trying to treat, whether it's your knee or whatever you're treating, you do not want to have it go elsewhere. You want your knee to be fixed. So
yeah, yeah, because they have to know where to go.
yeah, they know where to go. They find inflammation, and then if the inflammation is in your gut from the alcohol, well, that'll be that's where they're going. So
Right.
I would say, I don't know the exact amount, but give it a little bit. You don't want to, if you can't sustain from alcohol, then limit to how much you
I
can.
know we
Yeah.
say like limit exercise and stuff like that for 30 days, like too much like wear and tear for like the ortho injections. IV is a little differently, but maybe it's the same principle. Like 30 days is a good number.
Yeah, I would say just because, if you're doing heavy squats, say you're a power lifter and you're doing heavy squats or heavy deadlifts, you're putting a lot of pressure on your back, your knees, your hips, and everything.
Yeah.
And that's going to be where they're going. I don't know. There's more science behind it that Will can talk about next podcast.
Yeah. I know when we
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. But no, it's very interesting. It's very quick. We always like to have people in and out within an hour at most.
Yeah.
It's very non-invasive. No bone marrow transplants. No adipose tissue transplants. Bone marrow is not necessarily old age, but adipose tissue transplants are older age style treatments. So
Yeah.
we're new gen.
Do you guys find yourself like when you're out at functions or you're just around people in general and you're talking to them about stem cell, like how are you communicating it to them? Because I'm finding myself telling people about stem cell. Like it comes up and then I'm like talking about it. Like how are you explaining it? Like what is
I usually go with a route of have you had any injuries or something like that, and then try to target that sense. But if they haven't, then I kind of just go infusion. I'm like some people are studying their biological age, or some people are using this just for like a wellness, like a general wellness. If it's feasible to you, get a infusion every couple months or once, twice a year, and just see how you feel. Or before you go on a plane, or if you're sick, get a direct IM shot right into the shoulder, like a flu shot. But and watch how good you feel.
goes?
But no, I kind of just base it off of their needs and go from there. But I'm always trying to talk to somebody about
stem cell
because it's so interesting.
It just comes up in conversation with me with other people sometimes, and then I find most people really just don't know about it. Like they really don't know what it is. It's like what does it do? They've heard of it, but
a lot of people think that it's like something you have to do out the country too, and they're like, oh, you do that here? And they're like, oh, you can do that in the United States?
Yeah.
Oh, you can do that in Florida?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we're right down the street from you. We're like 10 minutes away.
Come on
At least
in.
just come on in.
Get hooked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they think it's something like only celebrities do. Like only.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like a luxury item.
That's with like the price point and things like that.
Yeah, obviously there's a dollar value.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's a cash based thing right now. So hopefully in the future it can be helped out and maybe worked out with insurance, so it could be more feasible for everybody.
Like it's gonna take a little bit of time.
But we do have
Insurance
finance.
doesn't want to improve anything that works.
No. So
From Nurse Kelsey.
Yeah.
Tip of the day.
Tip of the day. Kelsey, you had a background in like in the paramedic world, being an EMT. What was that like? You've probably seen some wild things.
Oh, it was crazy. I worked for the city of West Palm, which is not the best area depending on where you are. And it like made me realize like the world is not at all like what you think it is. It's not.
Like what were some of your experiences? Like
15 minutes from here, we have like places where like there's always like shootings and stabbings and hookers and like all these things. And
it
you're like
exposes you.
Oh yeah. And you're like, wait, that's like 15 minutes outside of the world. Oh yeah. Or like places that are just like terrible, like terribly unsafe. Like I think of like super unsafe places and I don't think of like West Palm Beach. Like and I would never like Broadway, Tamarin, like and the way people live too.
Right down the road from here.
Yeah. And the way people live is like a whole nother level too.
Yeah,
like
I don't like going
hoarders.
downtown West Palm.
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hoarders. Oh, I've walked into houses where like there's stuff up to the ceiling and you're just walking through like a path.
It's a maze.
It's a path.
That gives me crippling anxiety.
Oh yeah. And you have like the 911 abusers that call 911 for everything. Like at 2 a.m, they're like, my stomach hurts. I'm like, how long does it hurt? They're like, 5 years. I'm like, why are you calling right now? I don't think people realize like really like, because I mean firefighters, like you do go to sleep. So I don't think people like it comprehends to them like, oh, I'm waking a crew up to come here or in like an emergency. That's like not.
Yeah.
Yeah. A big thing too is homeless people. They love to go to the hospital because
Place
it's
to stay.
inside.
Yeah.
Place to stay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we get called a lot of times like the same people
For that.
over and over again. There was a lot of fun times too, though, for sure.
I'm sure.
And there was like,
Sure, it's a
but it
great
definitely
bond.
just shows you. It depends on the city you're in too. Like my husband works for the city of Boca. Their clientele is very different than the city of West Palm.
Oh, yeah.
So like every house he goes into is like a high-rise condo on the beach. So he's dealing with like more like older people, like shortness of breath, like
Falling.
things like that. Yeah, versus I was dealing with more of like the
You were in
rough
the
stuff.
streets.
The stuff.
You were in the
She was
streets.
in the streets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
No, but it was, and it's like it's crazy because like 2 blocks down you have like a multi-million-dollar house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
West Palm is crazy like that. You can go from one street being crazy and then
Yeah.
It's like any city, I feel like, is like, it's very up and up. Like New York City, I mean, probably highest dollar capital in at least United States, let alone the world.
Yeah.
And I mean, how many?
The homelessness. Right. Same thing,
yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA as well, like San
Yep.
Diego, or is it San Diego or San Francisco has like the highest amount of homeless people?
I think it's San Francisco.
San Francisco.
And I'm sure outside the city it's the same thing. It's not just homeless. I'm sure it's a lot of like
Poverty.
yeah. I'm sure.
Absolutely. And it's a shame. Definitely is a shame. There needs to be better structures for the homeless.
I remember
Yeah.
my first COVID patient at the fire department,
Ooh,
and like
what was that like?
What was my COVID like first
Hazmat?
came out? Oh, it was like that person was like an alien. Like it was like because we didn't know anything about it. All they said was, "Hey, there's this like super contagious disease. If you run across someone who has it, like take all precautions." And there was this like 5-year-old boy, and we like treated him like he was like patient X. Like we were like.
It's like the Monsters Inc. scene when like the people come in with the
2319. You got 2319.
And it was so funny how the rules were like if you even like got in contact with someone who was COVID, they took you off shift for like 2 weeks. Like go home, isolate, and then eventually like too many people were off shift all the time. It's like, all right, you guys are coming
No one's
back.
on shift.
Yeah.
But it was
That's
crazy.
so
I remember
funny.
that first patient. It was literally like patient X.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Freaked everybody
It was
out.
a poor little 5-year-old boy. He's like,
Aww.
No, I mean, the probably saw a lot of deaths from that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the hospitals like so overloaded.
Wow.
In the beginning of COVID, nobody went to the hospital because they were scared to go to the hospital at
Sure.
first. Because like, oh, like what if I get COVID there? And then like it changed, and it was like the hospitals were like over. It was like ridiculous. Like it was insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I mean,
And every call was a COVID patient. Every single
Oh,
call.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Was it all like similar shortens of breath, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. Or was it ever like, oh, I've came in contact with someone with COVID?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
the-
And they tell you that, like, we had to ask that, like, oh, have you been in? And then they'd be like, yes. And then we're all just like, eventually, though, it was like, all right, come on, like, whatever. Like,
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
it was
we've
like
been doing
everybody.
this. Yeah. Get used to it.
what did you guys do whenever you would go to those calls, like a COVID call? Just
So typically, because like typically there's someone driving and there's 2 people in the back. I think we'd only have 1 person in the back to like limit exposure. And then they would just like wear a mask and glasses and gloves and just try to like limit your exposure. But there was nothing we could do. We would like open the windows in the rescue.
Yeah.
We always encourage people to stay home.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like trying to go to the hospital. And we're like, listen, unless you're like dying sick, they're going to send you home. Like they can't take it anymore.
right.
Yeah.
So we'd encourage people to like stay home. But yeah. And a lot of times if people went to the hospital, like if they were bad, like they never came out.
Yeah.
Because they were intubating so many people.
I knew a person that got intubated, and he couldn't see his family. He was a young guy too, early 40s, maybe late 30s, and he was one of my professors actually, and he was very fit, jiu-jitsu and everything, and he got intubated, and he didn't think he was going to come out of it, so he told his family goodbye from the window, and then he ended up coming out. But
Yeah, once you
it's
got
crazy.
tubed, I think the rate of you like coming out was like drastically decreased.
Absolutely.
Do you know the story of my dad?
Maybe.
So my dad, he's 67 now, so I think he was like 63 maybe. He got COVID. And he went to the hospital. They sent him home. And he went back because he was like, I'm horrible. He was in there for 45 days.
No,
he
I
went in
didn't
and out
notice.
of ICU. Yeah,
45 days?
45 days. He went in and out of ICU 3 times.
Oh my God.
He lost 50 pounds. And he said, like, he fought, like, they easily would have tubed him if he didn't, like, continue to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, it took everything out of me. And he was like, so he was in, like, Trendelenburg, which is where your feet are more elevated than your head, to increase, like, blood flow to his lungs. And he was like that, like, prone, like, face down for, like, 35 of the days. Just coughing, God. Couldn't breathe. Oh. He would call me, like, every few days. One time, the last time he went into the ICU, it was the 3rd time. They were like, we need to bring you back. And then they're like, I think he was like, his fight was like, he was like, I can't, like 45 days of like fighting for my life. Like, I can't. And he called me and like said goodbye. He was like, listen, like, I love you. I'm proud of you. I remember I was like on the way to go on someone's boat. Like I was, because COVID, I mean, South Florida you weren't shut down really.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you saying? And he was like, I don't. And then he didn't get the tube. He got out and then he got better from there. Wow. And now he's fine.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Yeah. But it was crazy. He like thought, the doctors now tell him that they all thought he was done. Like they all just were trying to be like encouraging to him.
Like you can do.
But they were like, truthfully, we didn't think you were going to make it.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Well,
praise God. Good for him for fighting.
Like, no past anything.
Yeah.
Like, just healthy 63-year-old man.
Amen. I feel like it targeted, like the COVID thing targeted different like aspect. Like if you had a flaw or like a weakness, I feel like it targeted, because I had a history of concussions, and when I got it, my headache, like even moving my eyes was like a 10 out of 10 migraine. And I was like, I'm just going to go to sleep. And I mean, it went away eventually, but it was. Yeah.
So you had COVID too? I never knew if I got COVID or not. I just know right before, when I was in college, they sent everybody home officially. I was so ill, and I remember thinking I was dying. Like in my bed, I told my boyfriend, I was like, do not come here, because usually I'd be like, yeah, please stay, take care of me. But I was like, seriously, in my head, I'm like, something's not right. I was like in bed with this cough that had like rib pain. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And I never found out. I never found out if I had it or not.
When I had it too, I was so sick. Like the sickest I've ever been. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird thing. Yeah. Well, it's gone.
Miserable.
COVID's gone.
Yeah.
It's fake. It's fake.
It was a scam.
That was scam. Money laundering. No.
No. I think a lot of it was placebo too. Like people just I mean.
You're scared because you did see a lot of unfortunate people dying. So you were scared that you probably were going to have a similar situation.
I think COVID, I don't think it was like fake. Like, I think it was a thing for sure. But like how it got here, like all those
the politics
things,
behind it.
Yeah, like all like the else of it, I'm like, I don't know about. But
and I feel
do
like
think there was a disease and its name was COVID, just like there's
its name was COVID.
And its name is the flu.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I also feel like maybe they were also labeling some deaths that weren't necessarily COVID as COVID, because my grandfather died during that year and they labeled it as COVID, but we were all kind of like, he hadn't 100%. Been out, so it was just.
No, I think if you like died in a car accident, they would like test your blood. If you had COVID, they're like COVID.
Yeah,
like, it's like no.
Yeah,
tree
more like that. Just because, there's more. The politics behind it were kind of shady. Yeah, kind of shady.
Yeah,
it's funny how it still gets brought up today. COVID always gets brought back up.
Yeah, it always will too.
But people still like it. Still is.
It's
prevalent.
so scary.
Like when I get sick, people are like, "Did you get tested for COVID?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "When you get sick, do you just go get tested for the flu and this and that?" I'm like, I don't really.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Some people do.
Yeah,
They'll get the flu. I got flu A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm like, what?
If I'm like sick for like maybe like and like it's not getting better, like it's like, okay, I've been sick for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go and be like, hey, is there something to? But it's like every time you just like a cough, people are still like, oh, do you think? I'm just like, are we still saying this now?
Yeah.
And it did make a slight comeback for a little bit. Remember that? I forget exactly when. It was recent, maybe like.
I think it's always going to be a thing.
It's always going to be a thing.
Just like
I don't think it's going to go away.
It's always going to be a thing. Like I think it will always be here to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're definitely you'll be all right. Sunlight's really good for it, so get outside. You're in South Florida.
Get your D3K2.
Yeah, get that D3K2.
Maybe
some boron.
That combo, yeah. You're boron-ing.
Yeah, but no, I mean I don't. COVID, it's a weird one. It's gonna be in history books.
It was a freaking pandemic. Oh yeah, it's gonna be. That was like a huge thing to like live through. Like you don't really realize like when you're in it.
We lived through a lot. Our
back in my day.
Yeah, literally, we're definitely gonna be like that.
Oh no, we're gonna say that there was a pandemic and the whole world was on
assassination
lockdown.
attempt.
Oh yeah.
Times two.
Anything else?
There's gotta be more.
There's other. Yeah. I don't know. There's other stuff.
But no, I think when you live through something, you don't like see it as big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
No. Versus like when you read about in the book, you're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And I'm sure in the book they're gonna like describe COVID as like
they're gonna make it even worse.
Yeah, like it's gonna be like the disease that almost wiped the freaking
the literal plague.
Dinosaur age.
There was almost just cockroaches. Oh. We made it. Like they're gonna probably like.
Honestly, freaking like epidemic right now is all these plane issues. There's nonstop plane issues. It's so weird.
I like don't want to fly on a plane because of that.
No, like I guess
never happened. It's all at once.
It's all at once. All at once. I guess the other day there was a southwest flight that was going on the taxiway instead of the runway, and I guess I don't know, something happened. I didn't read into it too much, but I was like, this is scary. Yeah. Maybe I'll just drive.
Something happened to the plane?
I think something happened. Maybe they landed on the taxiway or something. I don't know. Something happened. I can't remember. But no, there's just weird things are going on in today's world.
Yeah, the plane thing is definitely a thing. Mm-hmm. I don't have any flights scheduled soon, so.
Me neither.
Yeah, no. But back to stem cells.
Yeah.
Juliana, didn't you say you had a few questions for us?
Oh, on stem cell?
Yeah, let's see what we got.
I think I asked a couple already. Let's see. From someone who tried everything else and it was game changer.
We treated our oldest patient this weekend. You weren't there.
Recent?
I didn't even know what happened.
Anything recent? Yeah, so what were some recent stem cell transformations or?
So this weekend we treated a gentleman, full shoulder. He probably could have had surgery, but a full shoulder treatment, supraspinatus, rotator cuff, everything was kind of just janky. Will went through the MRI and was provided him the product. It was not a lengthy procedure, but a high volume procedure. And he came in. I would say it took about an hour and 15 with everything, and so hopefully
we're waiting on that.
Yeah, that was Saturday. He's a healthy gentleman. He is a business owner, so he has the stress of that. But he should see some good results. He seemed like his body, he looked physically active and everything. So
yeah.
Then also we kind of had a little bit of a milestone. Our oldest patient of 90 years old got treated. That patient suffered a fall recently.
Was it also on Saturday?
That was also Saturday. Patient suffered a fall recently. He went to the eye doctor. They dilated his eyes, and he was already already using a walker, but going off the curb, I guess it didn't balance correctly, so he fell and he hit his face, and so he has this bruise on his face. Everything came back good. None of the results said he had a concussion or anything, but he did have some. He's suffering from a lot of low back pain as well, but this is from an old injury, I believe, because he used to fly planes and he had to be ejected from one of the planes.
Wow.
Was it also crashing?
The plane crashed.
I really.
Yeah, and so we treated him. We did an infusion on him. We also think that probably in the near future we should do lumbar injections because of he has some spinal stenosis, which basically puts pressure on the spinal cord, can cause severe pain.
Yeah.
And then sometimes issues with the dermatomes in your your feet and legs. So he's experiencing some of that, struggle with the walking. So hopefully we could hit him with a pretty hefty infusion. So hopefully you should see some results. And maybe you won't even need the lumbar injections. But
you said he was 90?
90.
Wow.
Yeah, oldest one.
I just love how stem cell can be. I mean, it can just affect so many different lives. 5 years old, 90. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think our youngest was 4 or 5. Yeah. And then now oldest 90. So we're all over. Yeah. All over the birth years.
Yeah. It's awesome. I also love what stem cell does for wellness as well. Just overall wellness. I can't wait until stem cell is so normalized that it's just people just do it like IVs, vitamin therapy, that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's so cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it'll definitely be the future, and maybe we'll come back that we can mix it up with I don't know, your local vitamin IV bag. You can get both, but maybe just 2 birds, 1 stone, put it in the bag or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think in our office we do more wellness procedures than we do IV bags, I would say.
Oh, you mean with stem cell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would say.
No, I agree with you. We do more stem cell treatments than the IVs, like the vitamin IVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you for sure.
Yeah. I mean, vitamin IVs are very good. They, I don't know, anytime I get one, I feel great. It's like getting a gallon of water in about 40 minutes.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I've actually never done an IV before.
You feel good no matter what after, but I always say if you're like sick, hungover, like just like overall just feeling like tired, like that's typically like when you feel
results.
Like when I'm sick, I'll do like anything for an IV. Like I'm like, please, because it makes you feel so much better.
Yeah.
A big reason it's the vitamins, but it's the hydration. Yeah. Because they say a liter of fluids IV is equivalent to drinking a gallon of water.
Okay.
With how your body absorbs it.
Okay.
So like when you're sick, you're not drinking a gallon of water. Like
no.
Yeah, you try.
And you try.
Especially if you're like nauseous from being hungover.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. So it always makes and that's why the headache gets better. Like
get
all
that
those
Toradol.
Things. Yeah. I've given people IVs and they're drinking again. I'm like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I'm a victim of that.
Drinking while you're getting an IV?
Not while, but right after.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm powered up. Let's go.
Yeah.
They're like, can you come back tomorrow? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Sure. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different things we can treat. A lot of different ways that it can be treated. I think a fun one, or not a fun one. I think a good one for the South Florida population is the facial.
Stem cell facial.
Oh yeah.
You've helped Will out with stem cell facials. Nothing, not invasive at all. Just microdermablations, basically.
Microneedling. Yeah, it's the same as like when people do like PRP, except it's just stem cell.
Yeah.
A lot of times we'll do the PRP and the stem cell together.
That's what I want to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to get an IV.
I need everything.
Facial.
Can I just get one of each?
Yeah.
I want the facial too. I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see like what. Yeah.
That's more natural than doing like Botox.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing is people are trying to be more natural now, but they're like, I also don't want to give up my skin. Mm-hmm. So they're like, oh, I'll try like, the microneedling and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've done microneedling before, just never with PRP or exosomes. But microneedling itself is good, just even on its own.
Yeah, it's pretty good. PRP or exosomes.
Yeah.
Be smooth as a baby's bum.
Yeah. Really
I feel
boosted.
like in a way too, it's nice because it's like an actual like Botox, like I love Botox, don't get me wrong, but like it goes away. You know, it dissolves or whatever, not dissolves, it expires. It stops. Yeah. Versus like that, it's more I think like a longevity type thing.
So it really stays with you, like you don't have to keep going?
You do, but it's not like Botox is just like masking your symptoms, like just freezing you.
Yep.
Versus like it's actually like the microneedling is actually like helping with like your collagen, like it's
regenerating. Yeah, it's multiplying the cells in there. Yeah.
But obviously, like I always say, like if you do like a PRP facial or like stem cell, I'm like you're not going to be frozen like you are with Botox.
Right.
And some people want that, like and it's like well then just go the Botox route. So
yeah.
Either way. Either way, you can come and see us. Either way.
Yeah. We're here. We got it all.
Yeah, we do all that. Both ends of the spectrum.
Some people do both, so it's like I would do both if I could. Do it all.
Yeah, might as well just get everything done.
Yeah.
Get everything done. Well, I think that's a good segment into closing.
We at 30?
Yeah, we're about at 30.
50 seconds left.
All right.
Why are you wasting time?
Speed round.
All right. Speed questions. No. But
who's the 23rd president of the United States?
Cut it out.
If whatever you said, that would have been like correct. Because I
don't know. Whenever it comes to that stuff, I'm not good. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. That was a pleasure speaking with you guys, and we'll definitely have to get on here again.
Yeah.
Kind of just talking.
Till next time.
You can either give us a call at 561-532-7743 or at 561-650-4183, and our email is info@pbstemcell.com. Thank you guys for watching. We're signing out.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you, Juliana.